So, last week we didn't work, or maybe we did, I don't remember, with this problem, but it's kind of interesting anyway. So it says the following chart shows the height of a forklift in a construction as a function of time. Consider the time measured in minutes and height in meters. So it can be a bit tricky to understand what is represented here. But the idea is that we have a forklift, all right? So that forklift is let's say the forklift is represented by this rectangle that just appeared. So the forklift is going to go up. I don't know, something like this, up to a certain height, and it's going to reach that height after 2 minutes, right? That's the top height, and it's over the number 2. And after that, it's going to come back to the ground, and after 4 minutes, it's going to be back on the ground. That is the idea. So the first part says, write the name of each axis. And remember to indicate their measurement units. So the key to do that is to read this, the height, as a function of time. That is kind of a set phrase, and that means that the x-axis, the independent variable, is going to be time, while the y-axis, the vertical axis, which represents the dependent variable, is going to be the height. Your measurement unit for time is minutes. Consider the time as measured in minutes. And the measurement unit for the height is meters. So this one is done. Write the contextualized domain of the function. The question is, where does the function actually appear? And you can see that, well, the domain always has to do with the independent variable, which is here. And the function only appears when you have time between 0 and 4. So the contextualized domain of this function should be from 0 to 4. And every number in between. So we write the brackets, the square brackets. Interpret the coordinates of point B given in the graph. So point B is 1.5, 93.75. Remember, when you have a point, it has 2 coordinates. The first coordinate always has to do with the horizontal axis, while the second coordinate always has to do with the vertical axis. So in this case, I'm not going to write it down because I don't think I have the space, but the interpretation of this point should be something like, after 1.5 minutes, because time is measured in minutes, the height of the forklift should be 93.75 meters. Estimate and interpret. So we have, I forgot to check this and that. Estimate and interpret f of 1. Write the coordinates 1, f of 1 on the graph. So f of 1, we have to estimate it, and it should be something like this. 1 is time, and we get to the function at the height 75. So the coordinates of this point are 1, 75. And we have to also interpret that. 1 is the time, so after 1 minute, the height of the forklift is 75 meters. So we have this one. If f of x is 75, estimate the values of x and interpret the result. Remember, we don't have to use the previous result. And in this case, the previous result actually is misleading. So what happens is, this is height 75 meters, right? So if you go along this height, yes, you will find that it happens after 1 minute, which is the same thing we had before. But you need to keep going through that height and see what happens. And voila, it meets the function at another point. And the first coordinate of that point is 3. So we can say something like, the forklift is going to be at a height of 75 meters after 1 minute and after 3 minutes. All right. Now for the next one, if the forklift comes back and its height is 45 meters, estimate the time since the route began. So they are telling us that the forklift is coming back and it is at a height of 45, which is here. So let's see what happens. Height 45. Yeah. Now, the height 45 crosses the function at 2 points, one here and one here. But they said the forklift is coming back. So in the first half, it's going up and then it's coming back. So the only point that matters is the second one, which happens after 3.4 minutes. 3.4. I'm an idiot, but you know that. 3.5. I don't know how to read. So the height is 45, coming back after 3.5 minutes. So far we have, I made a mistake, sorry. So far we have answered all the questions that don't require to use a formula. The next two require to use a formula. And I don't want to go into that yet. We're going to go into that at due time when we are working with worksheet number 2. So I don't think that's something that we need to address now. So hopefully it's going to, be useful. And have a great weekend.